Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, hey, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Fuck clout, do it for the cash. Fuck clout, do it for the cash. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, hey, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Fuck clout, do it for the cash. Fuck clout, do it for the cash. If it don't make money, then it don't make sense. Fuck being famous, bitch, I'd rather get rich. Real talk, I'd rather hit a...
Morning, YouTube, morning. It's your boy B Smooth, right back at it again. Alright, this is gonna be part 2. Alright, as you can see, broke the sub down, got it all cleaned up. Alright, now it's time to put it back together. And like I say, man, still I want to say it's a blessing for me to have a friend like I have. I mean, he come through. I'm talking about come through clutching every time, man. I mean, I can't ask for a better friend than him. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and let him do his thing on this. And if y'all got any questions, need any help, hey, just reach out to me.
Alright, YouTube, we are back with Smooth C7 Recone. I did off camera knock some of the debris off with an air hose. So now we're going to pull this tape off and see what we got in the gap, pull out. Alright, can't really see much on camera, but there's some debris. It looks like some broken off pieces of coil in there. So let's flip it over and see if we can get it out. Alright, as you can see, we got a pretty good little bit of coal out of there that was still in there, so hopefully I'm going to peek down in there and hopefully that is it. Alright, yeah, that got most of everything, but if it didn't, we'll just take a rag and a little, it's a tool from a kit, from just a panel removal kit. So we just take that and just work the rag down there. Want to make sure it goes all the way to the bottom plate so you can get everything. You just keep repeating until you don't see any more debris down there. If you leave anything in there, it's just going to catch on the coil and cause some coil rub. Alright, so the next step is we're going to clean all the surfaces with alcohol. Just all the glued surfaces where the surround is going to go and the spider. All right, so we got it all clean with alcohol, so we're gonna set this up to the side and get our Recone from Directronics. And with dust cap and instructions, sticker on the Recone. So, I don't know if you remember, we have a trim ring we got to install. This does not have any holes. So what I'm going to do is take a small drill bit and drill some holes in there so it'll be a little easier when we're trying to screw to the sub. So I'm just going to flip it upside down and do it from the bottom side. Now the trim is going to go on the top side. So we're going to just drill some holes from there. And do not stick your hand under there to try to drill a hole. Place a piece of wood, something sturdy, so you don't hurt yourself. And the terminal rings, it came with terminal rings, so the ones we kept, we can just toss them out. And it's important before you start drilling some holes is to find out where the holes are according to the sub. So we got holes right in between the terminals. So we're gonna go just as close as we can get. All right, we got our Recone prepped for our trim ring, but I did forget to mention, before you do any kind of modifications to your Recone, before you put it in, go ahead and check the ohm load. So just put your multimeter on ohms, and we'll go ahead and check it. So we're just sitting there right at 2 ohms, just what we ordered. So. All right, she is good to go. So let's grab the sub. So we're just gonna test fit it in there. So everything looks good. All right, we got our Recone prepped for our trim ring, but I did forget to mention, before you do any kind of modifications to your Recone, before you put it in, go ahead and check the ohm load. So just put your multimeter on ohms, and we'll go ahead and check it. So we're just sitting there right at 2 ohms, just what we ordered. So. All right, she is good to go. So let's grab the sub. So we're just gonna test fit it in there. So everything looks good. All right. Gonna make sure we get that trim ring in there going the right way before we start doing any kind of gluing. Just gonna be gentle so we don't break these. These things are made of plastic and they will break. So, all right, we got that on there. And we're gonna set this to the side. I'm going to use E6000. That's going to be for the surround. And I use JB Weld. It's just a quick setting 5-minute epoxy. And I always get the ones with the mixer. That way you get a proper mix. Because if I try to do it myself, it's either going to be too much hardener or not enough, and it just don't work right. So we're just going to put that on it and twist it in. It is ready to go. So once you get this going, it's 5 minutes. You got 5 minutes to get it right. Get your Recone in there, set, trim ring in, get it shimmed out. So you got to work quick. All right, we got our Recone in there and just lining up the holes that we pre-drilled for our trim ring, and just make sure they line up to make it easier. All right, to put our screws back in, before we were able to come to the top, you can use just a ratchet, what, 1/4 inch for your bit, but I like just a right angle attachment for impact, and it makes things go a lot quicker. All right, got the trim ring all the way down, and I did leave it loose so the spider was able to move, so we could get some shims in there, and then make sure everything was centered up before I tightened everything down. So next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some E6000 around the surround. Just gonna peel it up, and once I get done going all the way around, take some clamps, clamp it down, and that'll be it for the night pretty much. All right, got the surround, put the E6000 and got it clamped. Did forget about these terminals we could do tonight, and they didn't come with any heat shrink, but they have rolls of this at Harbor Freight that are fairly cheap. I like just a right angle attachment for impact, and it makes things go a lot quicker. Alright, got the trim ring all the way down, and I did leave it loose so the spider was able to move so we could get some shims in there and then make sure everything was centered up before I tightened everything down. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put some E6000 around the surround. Just going to peel it up, and once I get done going all the way around, take some clamps, clamp it down, and that'll be it for the night pretty much. Alright, got the surround, put the E6000 and got it clamped. Did forget about these terminals we could do tonight, and they didn't come with any heat shrink, but they have rolls of this at Harbor Freight that are fairly cheap. I'm gonna go ahead and cut some and put some. Unfortunately, I don't have any black, I just have the red, so we'll just run with the red. I just rather have it covered up than bare metal there. Alright, unfortunately the red heat shrink wouldn't work, but I did find some black, so it comes in rolls. So we're just going to cut 2 small pieces. Just slide it on the terminal. Get our heat gun and heat it up. We got the terminals put back. The heat shrink's not necessary, but it does make it for a cleaner look. Tomorrow we'll just pull the shims out, get the dust cap, and put it on. All it is just run some E6000 around it on the edge, and try to find a suction cup to center it up and put it in. Usually put a little weight on it to hold it down, and that'll be it. The spider, if it didn't have the trim ring, we would just clamp that just like we did the surround. So it's fairly easy, a little tedious, requires some tools. So like a lot of this stuff, like the right angle drill attachment, it just makes it easier and quicker. It's not a necessity. Like I said, the heat gun with the heat shrink is not a necessity, but it makes it look better. Alright, YouTube, we're gonna finish up this sub. Right now we're gonna do some testing. We're just gonna do a free air test. Got it hooked up to an MD8K, and we're just gonna free air at 20 hertz just to check, make sure there's no cold rub, make sure everything is sticking on the glue, and just make sure everything's all right. And it is at 20 hertz. Alright, everything is looking pretty good, so we're going to disconnect it and install the dust cap. Right, we got our dust cap here. We'll put a nice thick bead of E6000 around the edge. We're going to take our masking tape, we're going to roll it, and we're going to make us a handle to be able to hold on to the dust cap so we can center it on top of the sub. Alright, and we're going to place our dust cap right in that line right there. So take our handle. And we Set it right. Line. It might take a little adjusting, sliding. And we made a little boo-boo there. I'm going to set it down there, press nice and firmly. Maybe give it a little twist to make sure the glue grabs everywhere. Just get a rag in the place where that E6000 got. Just going to clean it up. Alright, and to keep pressure on the dust cap, I just got an old frame I use. That sits along there nicely just to keep a little bit of pressure. And I'm going to take just a few rags to help weigh it down a little bit more. And that is it. We'll let that sit overnight, and when he's ready to get it, he can come get it and it'll be ready to play. Of course, it'll need its break-in, but it's ready to go. And that is it.
Yo, there you have it, YouTube. Like I say, man, I'm at home chilling right now in the bed. Hey, I can't lie, man. Can't ask for a better friend than Randy. Always come through, always, man. It's a blessing. Hey, like I say, I appreciate all the support. Y'all got any question, reach out to me. If I don't know it, guarantee he know it. If he don't know it, he knows somebody who know it. Well, as you can hear, got a lot of commotion going on over here. So, hey, y'all stay tuned, man. More on the way. Oh, yeah, we gotta get some videos of Randy truck. That's one badass truck. All right, y'all stay tuned, man. I'm out of here.
I got it on, drip drip, dress down to my shoes. Got on my Dose, Gabbana made shoes. Big drip, drip drop, drip drip like a pool. Big drip, dress down from my head to my shoes. Yeah, don't do no capping, no stressing. I just go count on my blessings. You better count up your blessings, yeah. I used to look real down bad, now I got it on. Yeah, I went and got me a big bag, Santa Claus ran it up just like a marathon. Louis Vuitton, no Farrakhan, got on this ring like a marathon. I got colors on me like a parrot, colors on me like the fair time. Switch it up quick, new fit, dress down for the winter coat, looking like a bear now. Yeah. Looking like Tony Montana inside of this slim fit suit, yes sir.